Welcome, Dee. It's a pleasure to meet you, and may I extend heartfelt congratulations on this honor. Welcome to the 2021 class of Silver Beavers.
Thanks so much, Brian. I'm really excited and surprised.
So, what does being nominated and selected as a Silver Beaver Award recipient signify for you?
Well, as I mentioned the word surprise, I was completely taken by surprise that I was nominated and awarded. It's really exciting, but what it means to me is that people around me know that I'm not just involved in Scouts, that what they see at Scouts is what they might see in the community if they have that opportunity to see me doing service. It's one of the most fun things I get to do. I love it, all the way from trips to Jamaica, mission trips, to going to the Christian Cover. As a matter of fact, the 27th of this month, we're going to the produce fair at the Christian Cover.
Oh, that's awesome. Because I know you've been very, very active. You've served in a number of positions in PAC, troop, and district. Gotta ask, what position have you held in all of this that's made the most impact on you, or that it just kind of sticks out in your mind?
Yeah, so when I think about that, it was kind of a toss up between being a merit badge counselor and being on the district committee. And for similar reasons, but yet different. Merit badge counselor, because you get the opportunity to work with a smaller group of Scouts and help teach them something that I hope they will continue. I'm a fishing merit badge counselor. And so helping kids learn how to fish and accomplish that task. The knots, you may know, are the hardest thing on the whole merit badge. And seeing them succeed is so rewarding, and they are usually pretty excited about it. And from a district committee perspective, I would say the opportunity to make an impact from a broader level to not just Scouts, but to Scout leaders is really, I think, was really rewarding. You get the opportunity to make a bigger impact. Not that an impact on one-on-one with a merit badge group and yourself teaching is any less, but I love the brainstorming opportunity to make change.
When you talk about working with Scout leaders, with kids, you can see kind of that one-on-one and the light bulb go off,
Mm-hmm.
and you see what's happening. But when you think about it with leaders, you're teaching them something, and you wonder where does it go from there?
Yeah.
Where do they take that? I mean, it's such an amazing thing.
Yep. And I truly believe that training leaders, giving them the tools to be successful, makes an impact on the Scouts experience too. So
Very much so. So I got to ask, what do you think is the most important characteristic of a Scout leader?
well, some people might not think this is a characteristic, but I think coaching is one of the things that I feel is the most important. Because I believe as a volunteer, you're walking in, and the Scout program is going to change these youth, and how can we help them without stepping in? So let's talk about the Scouts BSA program, and we don't want to do it for them, and so coaching is the most appropriate. Kind of keeping an eye, work on it with the PLC, and kind of mentor them and ask them questions. I always thought that was a key aspect of that, and not be bossy and to be understanding so that they can in turn teach the younger Scouts this, and hopefully they're going to be living the Scout oath and Scout law.
Maybe that second characteristic is just being able to hold your tongue, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, and patience. Hey, you're kind of going along with that, and I know you've got two sons, two Eagle Scouts. What have you seen? Kind of what shows in them that you can attribute to their scouting activities, their scouting career?
Well, they both loved camping. My middle son, Joel, has spent almost his entire summer in 2020 not being able to work and COVID camping. And so that is definitely something that is ingrained in him. We did not camp as a family. We had a cabin. And I would say for Cole, I would say the opportunity to do service. He really liked doing that. And although it might have been a requirement, when I watch him in service, we went on a mission trip, and just watching him work with a special needs boy, I kind of melted. So it's like, yep, that's who you're meant to be. Yeah.
That is so cool. You know, I heard you mention the mission trip because I know you've taken part in separate mission trips to Jamaica with each of your boys.
Mhm.
What was that experience like?
It's pretty amazing. The place we go with all three of my boys, it was called the Sunbeam Boys Home. And they house about 40 boys. And these are boys who may have family, but families can't afford to raise them, or they've been abandoned. And so you're walking into a situation that is completely foreign. And to watch the boys and really everybody on the team to just walk in and just be present, whatever that looks like. And yes, indeed. So Joel towers a little bit over Cole. And when he was working with some of the boys and he would speak stern to them, they would be like, what? And, but he always did it in a way, it's like, well, would you like it if somebody did that to you, kind of a thing. And so, you know, it's an amazing experience to have the opportunity to share your values with other kids and to celebrate them, to just be present with them and do whatever it is they want to do, even if it's 112 and you're playing basketball.
Oh, yikes. You just talk about life-changing experience, not only for you and the boys, but for also those boys that you serve down there. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Hey, often scouts are asked during a board review, what's the most important point of the scout law?
Mm-hmm.
If this was your board review and I asked you the same question, how would you answer it?
I've asked that question before. I'd actually revert back to the whole coaching thing that I talked about earlier. I'd say helpful, because truly a volunteer, which is what I am, what we are, we're volunteers, and a volunteer is there to help. That is, in my mind, the definition. Now, it's not really easy to pick one, but I really, really believe, as do a lot of fellow scouters and scouts, believe that they're kind of all tied together. I mean, you can't be helpful without being compassionate or kind or courteous. So they go together, and that's what I'm here to do, help. So that's why I be helpful.
Fantastic. So a little bit, and now for something completely different, something a little different. Get to know you a little better. Tell us something about yourself that most people don't know about you. You know, something you talked about Jamaica, but maybe travel experience or another unique experience, a brush with fame, anything. What can we know about Dee?
Well, the mission trip thing. So I've been to Jamaica 3 times to the boys' home and hope to go back again. So looking forward to that. But things people might not know. Now, people who know me might know this because I'm pretty much an open book. But you saw 2 of my boys. I have a 3rd boy, son, and my kids span 16 years. And so it's kind of a funny thing. People are like, what? So that's kind of an odd thing people might not know about me, and that I am a crazy crafter. I love going camping and I love being outside and fishing and all of those things, but I love crafting. Before COVID, I was actually teaching classes. It was my retirement job, teaching craft classes at Joann Fabrics. So, and my husband would tell you that I don't need any more yarn or paper or beads because I probably have more than I'll ever use, but I'm going to have fun using them.
So with that crafting, I do understand that you enjoy a bit of knitting. You just mentioned that. And with the sudden popularity of a certain pair of knitted mittens, what are some of the things that you've crafted in the past?
Well, so I have actually been crocheting since I was in third grade, and I've been knitting. I taught myself to knit probably in high school. And every person that I know that's a friend or family member has received a crocheted baby blanket. I make hats, and I make beaded serving pieces. So many people, if you know me, you've been a recipient of one or more of my crafts.
Well, now that I know you,
Yeah, exactly. What would you like, Brian?
hey, let me think on that. Okay. So as we come to the end of this interview, I want to give you about 30 or 60 seconds, if you would, and just kind of say from the heart, what would you like to say to people out there about you and about your experience?
Well, I have been so lucky. I happened into scouting by accident, but I'd like to tell people to give it a try and not let it be an accident. My middle son, Joel, is a diabetic. And so, in order for him to be involved in scouts, it meant that somebody went with him to do anything. And so, through happenstance, experience, and then want, I ended up being involved in scouting. It's been over 15 years. If you include Cub Scouts, it's longer than that. But it's been just so rewarding, a great opportunity to support a program that really supports my beliefs. And I'd say if you haven't tried it, give it a try. If your children haven't tried it, let them try. You won't be disappointed.
I couldn't agree with you more. I do remember my first experience was going to a pack meeting. Brought my son as a Tiger Cub, and I was so excited that I wore the orange T-shirt like he did. And that night, everyone assumed I was a Tiger Cub leader. And guess where I started on my on my route?
And then you were.
Yeah,
It just happens that way. That's right.
exactly. Well, hey, again, this has been such a pleasure to get to know you just a little bit better. And again, congratulations on your Silver Beaver Award. Well deserved.
Thank you so much, Brian.